GM fam, welcome to the show. My name's Minty, and we got a lot to talk about today with Candy and Topps, specifically, or Fanatics. The CEO, Michael Rubin, dropped an internal email on everyone today, basically saying they are wiping their hands clean of Candy Digital. It's going to be sold, or at least their shares of Candy Digital is going to be sold completely to Galaxy Digital. And Fanatics will now be focusing on Topps. So a lot to unpack and unravel there. The email is very interesting as well, and gave me a lot of anxiety when I was first reading it. But after digesting it and really thinking about it, I think it's actually really good for Candy and Topps and the NFT space. Now, that said, I want to pick apart this email a little bit because some of the things that Michael Rubin's saying here is really kind of off-putting and makes me a little bit uneasy as an NFT collector. And you can just tell by some of the words and phrases that he uses here that he's not a believer in NFTs, or at least the people around him are not, and he's catering to them. And an example of that is, just the first paragraph here. I'll read it out loud. So, business model: NFTs will most likely emerge as an integrated product feature and not as a standalone business. Okay, so very interesting there. And then it goes into, over the past year, it has become clear that NFTs are unlikely to be sustainable or profitable as a standalone business. Aside from physical collectibles, such as trading cards, driving 99% of the business, we believe digital products will have more value and utility when connected to physical collectibles to create the best experience for collectors. And then they go into some licensing details, which is also interesting. But that right there, that paragraph, in my eyes, in my opinion, it just kind of explains that, yeah, it hasn't been as profitable as they would like. At least, it's definitely not in the crypto winter that we've had lately. And when you're dealing with a big company and you might be looking to sell or make it public, you want to make sure you have a clean balance sheet, and all that jazz. So maybe that's one of the reasons they're cutting clean, but just the way they absolutely throw NFTs under the bus and just basically say that they're worthless in a nutshell, and in a lot of people's eyes, that's basically what they're saying. They're only like 1% or maybe even less in their eyes of the space. I think that's really, it just tells you a lot about their mindset. And I think a lot of people at Candy kind of felt this, me as well, being a Candy. I also collect Topps and Panini, but collecting a lot of Candy, it just felt like the Candy team wasn't really able to do a lot of the things that we were hoping for them to do. There was a lot of almost like money money grabbing sort of pack drops, and things just didn't quite make sense, even though we were trying to tell them, hey, we got to change this up. It just felt like it wasn't really going anywhere. And now I kind of feel like this could have had something to do with it, where, they wanted to, Fanatics trying to tell Candy, you better get this in shape. You better start making money with this. Otherwise it's going to get cut. Right. And that's not fair. I mean, you got to do NFTs the right way. You can't just do it just to, get a profit, though. Obviously, if you're a company, that's what you really need to do. But there's other ways to go about it versus just forcing it down our throats and seeing if we bite. And that definitely didn't work. And we knew it. We're smart enough as collectors, when those $1,000 packs are dropping, like, you basically just repackaged old content, put it into a shiny new pack worth $1,000, and we knew it just wasn't really good content, and we weren't going to buy it. So and we were complaining to Candy, like, why would you do that? You know, there was some really good inserts and additional content that you could get in the packs, but it was very unlikely you would get it unless, you know, someone got it in the pack and then you bought it off secondary marketplace, which is what I did for a lot of those cool insert cards. But it just wasn't worth buying the pack and, you know, rolling the dice, like, and just the odds were not in our favor. So I stayed away from that. And then there's other examples too, where it's just like money, you know, the whole candy jersey thing that happened. And, you know, Fanatics owns the company. Yeah. It felt like we were going to get jerseys at one point or something. And we all bought into the jersey concept, at least 75 bucks, I believe it was at the time or something. And, now that's, you know, definitely not going to happen with Fanatics. Not sure how they'll honor it in the future, if at all now, but, it's just odd. And it just makes so much more sense now that, um, you know, Candy wasn't able to sort of do everything they want. They had this awesome design team, creative team, I should say, where the cards just look phenomenal. Everything that they were doing was really cutting edge, way advanced and better than what Topps NFTs was doing and what Panini was doing, in my opinion. And just really cool content, but weren't able to find that sweet spot, and really take the advice that we were giving them. And it's probably because of, you know, upper management and just being in that Discord, um, you know, for the past year or so, and kind of knowing the customer service at Candy is hearing us and, you know, agreeing with us, but just things weren't changing, right? And, you know, maybe that had a lot to do with it. And it feels like it does based on this email. So I think this is going to be really good for Candy, to, you know, start actually, doing what they feel is right for this space and for the NFTs in general, and making it about the collectors, making it not about the money grabs, you know, making really good content, but, pleasing their collectors as well. And they're creating this VIP, um, I guess, council or whatnot, and getting feedback, which is going to be really interesting, um, for the future of the project. So I have all the faith in the world. Candy and Galaxy Digital are going to move it in the direction that's right, you know, for Candy. But anyways, back to the email real quick. You know, another thing Michael alludes to is that they're going to move to connecting physical collectibles to the digital products or NFTs. And I, though that is an interesting idea, and it has been done before by Panini, and it worked well, you know, but at the same time, that's not what NFTs are about. It's not about getting a physical collectible, because that's, you know, what's the physical collectible going to be? Is it going to be the same card? Well, what if you sell off the NFT and the cards with you, the NFTs with someone else? Well, now, you know, what's the NFT worth? What's the physical card worth? Like, is it really a one-on-one? Is it, you know, there's also, you know, what if it's not a card? It's a physical collectible. Well, you know, I don't really want a doll of my favorite player or Funko Pop. You know, I'm not that kind of collector. I want the NFT. That's the collectible in my eyes, and I believe is the future of collecting. And actually will be the preferred method of collecting in years to come. You know, we're in the early days where, you know, a lot of growing pains with crypto, a lot of problems with Top Shot, wax, things that kind of turn people off. You know, we're going to get over these hurdles, and it's just so short-sighted of Michael here to kind of just write NFTs off and say, you know, 99% of the business is cardboard, so NFTs, yeah, we're not even going to do anything with you. even though they have a Topps NFT business, and he's saying this, which doesn't make any sense to me at all. It just feels like he's writing NFTs off completely, even though they have Topps NFTs that has plenty of customers, including myself. So I don't like how he's phrasing all this. I don't like the whole physical collectibles are the way of the future of NFTs, and that's the only way that they bring utility. I don't agree with that. I think the utility is the NFT. There's so many different ways that um, you can leverage the NFT, or display the NFT and showcase it on social media. It's going to be able to integrate into games in the future. There's so much potential for the future for the NFTs that it's just so short sighted. Just write them off completely and just say, cardboard's where it's at still, because it's not going to be at 99% of cardboard that you have right now. Next year, I guarantee it's going to be 98%, or the following year, it's going to be 90%. And then after that, it'll probably be 50%. 2025, here we are, 50% people are collecting NFTs. It's possible because it's there's so many advantages to NFTs. And I'll do another video on that in the future, at least my opinions of what the advantages are compared to cardboard. And I think it will become the preferred method of collecting over time, and especially when technology starts catching up, and you're going to be able to do so much more with an NFT than you can with a piece of cardboard. So really, um Michael should not be doing the PR for Topps NFTs anymore. It really does not look good, everything that he said here. He goes into the licensing. He also talks about the investors and how he had to please them. So they were basically twisting his arm. Um, all these cardboard collectors that are probably part of Fanatics, they don't want their business. They don't want to be losing money, obviously, and they don't want their cardboard collections to be, their market share to go down because NFTs are succeeding. I just feel like they're very impatient, short-sighted, and also have their own agendas and things to protect, where they're just cutting off NFTs at the throat and saying "see you later," because they don't have any, and they don't see the big picture. So those are my thoughts on the email. So is this good for Candy? I definitely believe so, and I think Galaxy Digital looks very promising in a Web3 sort of leadership, where Fanatics is very old school Web2. I I think when I say Web3, like, it feels like they believe in NFTs. They see the potential of NFTs. They're going to build for that potential. Um, and where was Fanatics leadership might not have saw that. They were just saying, why isn't this making money? And also not helping Candy enough, or maybe not handcuffing them to where they couldn't make the decisions that they needed to for a Web3 collectors like myself. So um I think it's going to be a great deal for Candy, and hopefully they can pull it off. I know it's still a lot of hurdles to get through with all this, and a big merger or a big demerger like this, but um, I think they'll be a lot better and have a lot more. I know the vibes are up, right? So it sounds like admin's excited. They're ready to hit the ground running with with their new project, and be able to do the things that they always wanted to do. And I think we're going to see some really cool, exciting stuff from Candy. And as far as Topps, wow. And so instead of Fanatics managing two different platforms, now they can focus solely on Topps NFTs. And I think that will benefit Topps, because I feel like Topps has always been kind of like the, I don't know, dinosaur, or maybe just the slowpoke as far as getting crypto enabled, as far as getting a wallet, as far as doing anything with the NFTs. It's always been kind of lagging behind Panini, lagging behind Candy and So Rare as well. Um, but maybe this will let them focus on it a lot more, make the product even better. Though as of late, I've been buying a lot of Topps things. It's been the cards have been looking really nice. The video is really nice. Some great content. Lower um, for the lower supply, which is great for our current community, because there's not so many buyers yet, but maybe that will change in the future, right? So I think it's going to be awesome for Topps as well, and they are really two different products. And as far as the license is concerned, I believe Candy has the video licenses for MLB for a few more years, and then Topps, it sounds like they're going to have the license for a long time, as far as creating digital NFTs and also physical content, which is what it sounds like they'll be doing. But again, the NFT is not about the physical. The NFT is the value. But yeah, I just want to reiterate that you know the physical is not the future. NFTs are the future. NFTs are what you're going to be showcasing on social media. NFTs is how people around the world are going to know that you are the owner of a certain card. You have this collection. It's going to give you some swag, or excuse me, some you drive a Lamborghini in the real life. In the digital world, you got to start building this digital collection, because that is the future. You got to build your digital life. Things are going that way. And you're going to want to showcase your Rolex in the digital world, your Lamborghini in the digital world. And that's going to be these cards. It's going to be these early cards that you're collecting. And I truly believe that. And even if it's not worth much, it's only going to be worth as much as someone else is willing to pay for it. Um, it's still a collectible. It's still something that you could treasure and be proud of. And that's the collector mindset I have. As far as flipping, that's a whole nother story. We could talk in another time, but I really believe NFTs are going to take market share away from physical, whether they like it or not. I know all the YouTube influencers out there for cardboard don't even talk about NFTs anymore. We're going to change that. We got to start talking about it amongst ourselves, bring some cardboard collectors on, bring some new blood on, over the years, over the months, or whatever. We just got to reach out and tell people that, don't believe everything that you're hearing from your YouTube friends out there that only care about their keeping their business afloat with the cardboard. There's more to NFTs than what the media is saying every day about crypto collapsing, and then being junk and NFTs are dead. There's more to it. So I'm Minty. Hope you liked it, and I'll see you soon.